Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So guys, in this video we are going to learn with our Laravel and Livewire CRUD application series. Okay, so guys, basically we are going to create a CRUD for the student where we are going to using Bootstrap model. Okay, so we'll be using the Bootstrap 5 to create the Laravel Livewire CRUD application. So guys, now let's get started. So first, I have just installed a Laravel 9 fresh application here, and here is my editor. So guys, now first step, let's set up the database. So let's go to .env file, and here is my database called Laravel 9, and just update that. All done. Now guys, let's get back to the Laravel Livewire. At here, you can see the installation part. So let's click on installation. So you move it, install the package, copy, and open your terminal and paste that. So hit enter. Okay, it's just a warning guys that it's deprecated versions. It's ignoring that and installing a Livewire. So guys, our Laravel Livewire is installed successfully, and now let's set up the auth scaffoldings. So we will be using a Laravel UI package for that. Okay, composer require Laravel /UI. Hit enter. So guys, when you install this Laravel UI, you will be finding layouts and auths inside your view. Okay, once it is installed. So okay, so it's installed guys. Now let us PHP artisan UI : auth. So I'm not going to use any Breeze or Bootstrap. Directly I'm going to integrate it. Okay, just auth scaffoldings. So once it's integrated, it comes over here. Done. Now guys, we are going to integrate the Bootstrap now. So let's get back and go to your docs. So we will copy the link CSS and move to your home app, and inside app you will find the link. Okay, so just add this CDN link and let's remove this unwanted, not required. All done. And coming to the CSS, I mean script part. So here let's get below JS, copy and paste. We don't require this. Let's remove that. All done. Now let's begin with our Livewire. Done. So yep, first step, let's go to the begin with our migration and the models. So PHP artisan make migration create underscore students underscore table. Okay, so we are going to create a students table. Created migration. Let's go to database migration, and here you find your migration table. So now guys, in this field we will add just 2 or 3 fields where we'll tell the name, okay, and email and one course. Okay, done. So 4 fields is enough guys. And now let's migrate this PHP artisan migrate. So it's migrated. You can see that students table is migrated. Done with all the default tables. So now guys, let's create the model PHP artisan make model where student model. Okay, hit enter. So you find app models where student.php. Now let's call the table that is students. So let's copy the table name students and the fields also. So protected $fillable is equal to, where inside this you are going to tell name, then email and course. All done. So let's save. Let's close everything. So guys, let's create a controller PHP artisan make controller where student controller. Hit enter. Okay, done. Now you can get back to your controller at student controller, where let's create one index function. Return view. Inside this, you are going to a student folder at index blade file. Okay. So to call this controller, you have to set the route. So let's set up the route. Route colon colon get method, where you will call the path and your controller. Okay. So you can just copy from the controller here itself. Let's copy that namespace path, paste here, and your student controller. Let's copy that class name, student controller. Done. Colon colon class at where index function. So which route you're going? Students. Done. Now let's get back to our student controller at index function. So you need to create one folder, guys. So let's move to resource views, and inside this views I'm going to create one folder named student, and let's copy this index blade. Done. Index.blade.php. All set. So yep guys, and now let's begin with extending the layouts. So extend, which we are going to tell layouts dot app. Okay, and extend the section. So here you are going to integrate your Livewire. Okay, let's open, close, and div. For this content, make sure you have your contact section. So now guys, we are coming to the part of Livewire. Yep, let's get back to the Livewire, and here you see after the installation we have to include the assets. So one is your Livewire styles. Let's get back, and before the head only. Okay, so after all the link tags, and here before the end of the body. Yep, let's get back, and this is a script, right? So after the scripts only we will include it. So now guys, let's create the CRUD of Livewire. Okay, so PHP artisan make colon live wire, which is student Livewire we are going to create. So let's tell student, hit enter. Okay, so this is the first time. Let's create now. Done. And you can see that one is class and one is view. Okay, so now let's go to the class first. App http, here is your Livewire, and inside this Livewire you find your student.php file, so which is already created. Okay, so it has already created a view file. So let's go to this view file. So if you don't find, go to resource views, Livewire folder. Inside that Livewire you'll find your student blade. Okay, so now guys, let me just remove this and say in a h-word tag like hello student. All done. And this, it's called over here. And now let's get back, and if you call your students, what it happens, you see that a blank page. Okay, why? Because we have not included the Livewire. Okay, so this Livewire should be included where? In your, let me just show you the path. It goes to the student controller at index function. Let's go to there, and here you find the student, and inside this blade file you have to include your Livewire. Okay, so let's open and close tag, where inside this Livewire colon your student. So you just need to specify that Livewire colon and then your page name. So Livewire colon goes to your directly Livewire folder inside your resource views, and it search for the file. So we have got the file, and now it's inside the file. So yep, now you can see your hello student output. Perfect. So here is your data, guys. So now guys, let's create the model and the data part. Okay, so let's begin with creating container, row, column md12. Done. And card header, export tag where student CRUD with Bootstrap Modal. Okay, and here you move with card body, where you will fetch your table data. Okay, so table data will just keep here, before that model, we have to pop up the model, right? So for that case, guys, you will go to the getbootstrap.com and search for the model. So let's search for the model, and here you see a demo launch model. Perfect. So let's copy this model, copy and paste. So where are we going to paste? Let's create a separate file, guys. So over here inside the Livewire folder only, I'll create a student model. Okay, DAL. Okay, so now let's get back to our Livewire student, and here we are going to include that. So at include function where Livewire at student model. Done. So now that model is included in this. Yep, guys, and now let's get back at the model, and here is a button. So let's copy this button, paste here, and you can just tell add new student. Okay, and this will be a student model. So let's tell student model, and then you go to your model page here and update your student model. All done. Now, guys, you can change this, create student, save it, and now let's check the output. Yep, refresh. Cool. And if you click, your model comes. Perfect. So now, guys, let me just move that to the left. Float end. Done. Yep. And now, guys, let's get back to our model and start creating the form to insert the data. So form begin. Okay. So you can keep the form at the top of your model body and end of the footer. Margin bottom 3, label, which will be a student name, and then your input field. So input dot form hyphen control. Let's create all our requirements over here first. So student email, and next is our course. Done. Yep, guys, and now let's make this save button, and this button will be submit. So here we come with the action. So at this action, you're not going to use the action. We will see with wire colon submit dot prevent save student. All done. And now let's call the model over here. So wire colon model, so which will send you the data. So this is the name, and let's copy and paste for the email and for the course. So here you add email, then coming to course. Done. And now, guys, when you submit this, you're going back to your student model, I mean student live component. So first step, we have to create all the inputs. So what is your inputs is nothing but the wire. Okay, so live wire model, this name, email, and course. Let's create that. Public dollar, first is name, then second is email, and then your course. Let's create one function which will be save student. Okay, so what we have created on that save student on the form submit, you are calling that function, and then you send your code over here to save the record. So before this, we need to check the validation. So guys, for that, let's go to our Livewire. Okay, so here you see the validation. Let's click on it. So guys, we see here there are many type of validation, like real-time validation, validating with the rules, and here custom error validation. So guys, now let us check with the real-time validation over here. Real-time validation, which tells directly you have to copy this, and let's get back and just paste above your save function. Okay, so this is nothing but your fields. So this is the FIELDS fields. Okay, so those are input fields. So now guys, before checking these fields, we need to validate, right? I mean, we have to give the rules. So for that, you have to get back and you can just copy any of the rules. Let's copy this, copy and get back and create paste here. Done. So we are getting the name and it should be minimum of 6. Here is email and we don't require. Done. Next, one more course. So you can add that course and it's required and it's a string. Okay, all set. If you require, you can add the string for here also. All done. And now guys, once you validate this, validate only, so what, where it will show the errors. So for that you have to go to your model and paste under this the error type. So how can you paste that? Let me just show you. Under the form you can see this, the type of code shown over here. Let's copy this and paste. So it's coming under name and then your email and finally one course. All set. Save it. And now guys, let's check out. So here we come, and if you directly type anything, okay, it just exited the model once we typed. So guys, now we need to add a wire ignore dot self. Okay, all done. Let's refresh once. And now if we check, yep. So you can see here guys, this email ID must be a valid email address. Okay, so it's not looking that good. So what we can do is that let's get back and instead of error, let's add text danger. Save, refresh. So here we come back and directly if we do email address, so let's give like correct with at gmail.com, correct email address. So now it's coming fine. Okay, so same process guys, we are going to integrate. So now, yep, let's get back to the model. And once your validation is done, then you are going to take the validated data. So let's tell validated is equal to your $this of validated function. Okay, so you don't need to worry about what data it is getting. It's just getting all your rules data. Okay, so now, yep, let me show you one thing. Let's get back now. So let's get back guys, and here I think this is getting miss. So for that you need to get back to your Laravel Livewire and let's see under any form save. Okay, oops, it's validate not validated, so let's keep validate and it's validated data. Okay, so anything, you can just keep any variable here. Let's get back and now let's try to refresh and let's submit. Yep, let's click and save. Here you see name field is required email and course. Perfect. So now guys, let's try to save. So once you save that, you need to create the data. So let's call the student model student colon colon where I'm going to create, where I will take dollar validated data. Okay, so let's take this. So we'll copy and paste here. Once saved, now what we have to do, once saved, we have to empty all these fields and close the model. So for that case guys, you are going to empty the fields. Let's create one function called reset input function. where we'll tell reset input, and the reset input is going to be like $this of name is equal to null. Okay, so same concept goes for your course and for the email too. Once it is saved, you can call this function $this of reset input. So you're going to empty the input. So before resetting this input, we need to send the message, right? So let's use the flash, that is session flash. So session flash message, where I will add a message and the message content like a student added successfully. All done. And once this is session is showed, you have to reset the input. And now let's close the Bootstrap model. So for that, guys, you need to go to your Livewire and let's move at the events. Here you go to your events and search for the dispatch. So dispatch browser event. Okay, let's copy this. Yep, and let's move. Here we paste. We are not going to send any value. We are just telling that close model. So we'll tell close hyphen model. Done. So when you dispatch this event to your browser, add your student, add it in your blade file. So add this index where you have extended it. Let's get that. Add here. Use a script, script script, and you need to add in your app layout. Okay, so just paste here after your Livewire or before the Livewire, not an issue. So now guys, you're coming back to your index and here is a script code. So let's copy this code and paste that. So once this event comes of close model, okay, which model? The student component, right? Inside your student component, get this dispatch browser event in your blade file. Okay, normal blade file, and if you require event, keep it, or else just ignore it. And here we are going to close the model. We don't require this. Let's use dollar and model, DAL, it's model, and here you tell hide. And what is the model ID? So my model ID is, let's get to the model. Here you find student model. Let's copy that and paste here. So my student model comes, and now you can test to the part. So once it is saved, we did not show the message. Okay, so let's get back on the Livewire blade, and after this I just require the if condition where session function has any data. So let's use a message, and if we obviously it will have once we add the record, and we are going to show in a h5 tag with the class alert success with the message as session function where you will tell message. Okay, so this message you are sending from your student component over here. All set, and make sure you import your class, guys. Import class. It's my student model. I have imported it. Okay, so now let's get back. Here we refresh. Oops, it's already in use, so it's getting classed over here from my student model to the component of Livewire student. Okay, so what we can do is that, guys, let me rename this file as student show. Okay, let's copy this, hit enter, and you can paste that student show. So after this, what we have to do, we need to go below, and at this render function we will add a hyphen show, and you need to change the Livewire component blade. Okay, so let's go to resource views, Livewire, and this is your student blade, and instead of student blade you are going to add student show blade. Okay, so let's save, and now guys let me refresh. Perfect, so we are getting the output guys, and now let me add. Here done. Let's add one student name called Ved Prakash, Ved at gmail.com. Here we enter the course called BCA or MCA. Let's save student, and here you, okay, student added successfully. Behind you can see the message, but the model did not close. Okay, let's check that, but let me check the database. Is the record inserted or not? Perfect, so data is inserted guys, and now we need to check the model why it's not closing it. Let's get back. Let's come back. Dispatch browser event close model. It's DAL model. Find, and where's the index? It's model. Okay, once let's, and we need to add one jQuery CDN link. So make sure you are adding that to run the dollar symbols. Okay, so which means this dollars. Okay, so that's the jQuery part. So I've just messed out jQuery CDN link. Okay, let's copy it and paste that in your blade. Here I don't require this. Save. And now guys, let's try to save once again. Okay, so here we say that Om Prakash and om at gmail.com. So BCA, save. Perfect, so student added successfully and model has been closed. Okay, so why did not close? We did not add the jQuery CDN link, and here I have just messed with up and down. So the mess was with only the jQuery CDN link. Why? Because we were adding this dollar symbol, right? So this dollar symbol works on the jQuery, not on without jQuery. Okay, so yep guys, and so guys, now how to fetch the data using Livewire in our blade component file. Okay, so guys, now let's get started. So yep, let's move to our editor, and let me close all the files. So first step guys, we need to move to our Livewire, that is model. Okay, Livewire component, and at the render function we see a file, and which we have linked from the previous video. So now guys, let's continue. So first step, we will move to our component of source student. So here we are going to create $this of your students is equal to your model student colon colon all function to get the data. Okay, and we will pass that $students. Okay, so this students will be created as a public $student. Okay, students. Perfect. So now it will be sent to that students, and then you are storing here, and you will get the output in your blade file. So now guys, in the output, let's create a table. So here we table bordered and table striped. So now guys, let's add with table head and table row, where table heading th with id, name, email, and one course, and one we required for actions. Perfect. So now guys, coming to the t body, where we are going to use a for else to loop the data. So what data you are going to get? it's nothing but the students. So this is our data students. Not we have to send this students. Okay. Yep. Let's get back. And here student comes and your students student data. So now let's table row, align the table row, table data with, you're going to echo your dollar student of ID, copy and paste, coming to name, email, course, set. So now guys, you are going to add a table row. If there is no record, you are going to show no record found. So you will be adding call span where column of 4 plus 1 5 5 done. And now guys, let's see the output. So here you refresh. Perfect. So we have got this, but the table design is missing. Let's see what happens. Okay, it's not table, it's table body, TBODY body. Done. So make sure you're autocorrect. Now refresh. Perfect. We are missing with one TD, which is for edit and update. So let me add it that primary, and in one is for delete danger. So right now we'll keep it null. Refresh. Cool. So looks fine guys, and this is how we display our data. So now let me add one more record like Alexa and alex at gmail.com, where course is MCA, and let's save. Here you see student added successfully and it's automatically added here. So now guys, if you want to show up and down wise, you can just use the order by. Let's, instead of remove that all and tell order by ID, that will be descending order, DESC, either capital or small, and after this use a get function. All done. So yep, if you refresh, here you see from top to bottom. Cool. So now you can add one more record. Hey month, copy and paste. So here we add the email and some course and save. So here you find that data added successfully. So now guys, let us add the pagination in this. So yep, let's get back, and here instead of get, let's add paginate of let us keep 3 pagination. Okay, so at once we cannot get. So what happens if you add this directly paginate, it will give an error over here if you refresh. So before that we need to use with paginate. Okay, so let's get back to our Laravel Livewire, and here you find the pagination. Okay, so you find this use Livewire paginate. Let's paste here. All done. And then call this, use this paginate. Perfect. So once done, now if you get back, here you refresh, you see your paginated data. Oops, it's showing Livewire components public show property student. Okay, so you cannot send this directly to your $this with the paginated. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to just remove this $this and just send the student data. At what? You have to create one variable. Inside that you are going to pass. Okay, so that is nothing but your students. So just create the students, and $this of students, just remove that. We don't require anymore. So let's comment and keep for the reference. Okay, so yep guys, and now if you get back, let's refresh. So we have got the 3 records, but pagination is not shown. So what we have to do, we have to go to our, and before this table, after the table close, I'm going to create one div, open and close curly brace, get the $students. So what students is this? Nothing but your looped data. Okay. So your students of links function. That's it. So let's save, and here you refresh and you get the pagination. All done. So let's go to next, and here you find that too. Let's move on. But this is not looking good, guys. So we need to use the Bootstrap paginate. Let's go to the Livewire and let's check out. Require, okay, Bootstrap theme. Copy this and get back to your component model. At the top, let's add that. So now if you refresh, you find that pagination design. Cool. So yep. So now guys, we have successfully done with our pagination. So now guys, we are going to learn about how to edit and update the data using Livewire. Okay. So once we click on this edit, a pop-up model should come, something like this, and with the data, and then we will be updating the record. Okay. So guys, now let's get started to build this. So yep, let's move to our form here, Livewire component bleed form. So we are on the model Livewire, and here is our render function, and this is our perfect. So we have created a separate file to keep our Bootstrap model, that is student model. Let's go to that model and let me copy the same file. I mean code, copy it, and let's paste below. So let me out, and here this will be the update student model, and let's change this ID name to update student model. Perfect. So we are going to change this model, and here you tell edit student. All done. And this form name we are going to tell update student. Okay. All done. And now all the input fields are going to be same with the email, course, and the button name we will change it to update. Once we submit the data, it goes to this. So before updating your data, what we have to do, we have to pop up this model, right? I mean, when you click this button, edit button, it should pop up the model first, then we are going to update it. So let's go at this edit button and begin with the process. So guys, for that, let's go to our for each loop at the table, and here is our edit button. So you can make this as a button type button. We don't require a tag, so let's make it button itself. And here we will be adding a wire colon click, okay, is equal to where you are going to tell edit student function, and inside this function you will be pasting your student ID. So let's send that student ID. Perfect. So here you find the student ID. So now guys, let's copy this function name and go to the wire click. So wire click means it goes to your student component of Livewire. So now guys, you can create a function with the name edit student, and inside this you are going to get the ID. So what is that ID? It's student underscore ID, and it's type of integer. Okay, and here when you come, let's find the students, not student, it's a single record. So let's keep a student, and here is student model colon colon find function. So where you are going to send the student ID, from this top you are sending the ID, and from this you will take the student ID data. Okay, you have to check it is correct or not. Okay, so when it doesn't found, so you can just check it in if condition, either you redirect or just add a 4 not 4 or okay. So yep, if it is success means you are going to send this in a like dollar this of student underscore id. Okay, so we need to create a variable with dollar this. So dollar this is I have to just add after this. Okay, dollar student id. So student id is added, and now missing with the semicolon. Let's add the semicolon. Done. And if you just want to, so how to redirect yourself over when id is not found, you can just go back to your pagination, I mean Livewire, and you find that redirecting over here. Okay, so return and redirect to at this, just redirect back to students. So now guys, when you click that, I mean when you click this edit button, you need to pop up the model. So for that case guys, we can directly use in the button itself. So let me just tell you over here, let's add a data. Let's copy from the top, copy and paste. So here is my update student model. So copy and search for in your model. Here you find update student model ID. Copy this update student model ID and paste that over here. All set. So guys, back to your edit function. So once you find this data right, so you're going to call all the input fields. So what input fields is nothing but name, email, course. Okay, so name, which from the student name you will get that, and then email, and from your backend database email, and then coming to your course, and here you get your course in the input fields. So you are saving all the data in your all the input fields. Save, and now guys you can just get back and let's test. Refresh. So let's click on id number 5, edit. Perfect. So the data has come guys. Now let's close and let's go to pagination 2 and let's check with the Ved Prakash details. So when you click on this, here you get the data. Okay, so before this, when we close this, we need to set this to null. Okay, so what we have to do guys for that, let's create one public function where we will tell close model. So when we close the model, we just reset all the input fields. That's it. So you can use this wherever we are using our close button. I mean to sell this one. Okay, so add this into our close button. If we are using in any model, we can just paste that. So this is my close button, and here I place with wire colon click is equal to, just paste this. Yep, and here is my model, close model. And coming to your model case also, close that. Done. Yep, and now let's refresh and check once again guys. So okay, so data has come. Let's close this, and now if you edit here, it's empty. Perfect. So yep guys, and now let's try to update this record. Okay, so I'm going to update with id number 5, which is Hemant. Let's edit. So here we get data, and once we click on update, what happens? Let's check that in the code. So let's copy this update function on form submit and go back to your component. Let's search for the update student. Okay, we don't have. So guys, let's create the function and create a update student function name. Let's leave it empty, and here we are going to update the student. So let's create our student. So let's use a where condition over here and with the update function. Okay, so once you use the where condition of id, and here you send your $this of the student id. So where is the student id? Let's copy it. Need to copy at the update function student id, and then you're going to update the records. So what records? It's a name, and that comes from your $this of name. When you edit, you are storing the data into this $this of name, right? So that data only we will get and update it. So we cannot directly update that, but we need to validate it. So before that, you just need to take the validated data. Let's get the validated data, and from this validated data, you are going to update the records. So for the validated data, you are going to call in this method. Okay, and coming to email, and this is your column field email, and next is your course. So course set, that's it. So now guys, you can, once it's updated, you let's show the message and reset all the input fields and close the model. Save here. So let me update the status as updated successfully and reset the input and close the model, guys. So make sure you are, when you're closing the update model. Okay, let's get back to our model, and this is our model ID, and from where this model is called. Okay, it's called from the student index. Okay, so this is our student. At this bottom only we have to call it. Okay, so let's copy this, and on the event listener we are going to hide this model. Okay, when close model comes, we have to hide the update student model also. Done. And where is our student component? All set, guys, and now let's try to update the data. Here we come. Once refresh, guys, before making any changes. Let's update, and instead of Hemant, let me add to Kumar. Here we update the name mohan@gmail.com, and let's update the data. So it's totally different data, guys. Here you see student updated successfully, and you see the record has been updated. Okay, so all the data is changed. So guys, so we have successfully done with our edit and update the data in Laravel Livewire CRUD application using Bootstrap Modal. So guys, as we have seen that how to add and how to edit, and now guys we are going to see how to delete the data using Livewire. Okay, so guys, now let's get started. So let's move to this table view at the Livewire played file. So here is our Livewire show student, and here is my delete button. So now guys, once I click this button, I need a pop-up model. So let us copy the code for popping the model, and here let's tell delete student model. Okay, so you need to create one model. So we have extended the file, I mean included the file, and in that we are keeping the model. Okay, so as we have kept the, let's copy, and here I paste the model. Let's copy this student ID, I mean model ID. Here I replace. Done. And let's tell delete student, and we have to submit the data. Okay, so what submit data you are going to do? You will tell delete student. Okay, so yep, and we don't require any of this input records. Let's remove that. Instead we will add h4 tags. Are you sure you want to delete this data? Question mark. Okay, and tell here yes, delete. Okay, all done. So once you submit, you're going to student delete and delete the record. So before that we need to pop up the model, right? So what model? This delete model. So let's get back to our blade, Livewire blade, at this delete model. Okay. So with this, when you click on this delete, we have to take the ID also. Okay. So like when you click on this delete button, a pop-up model should be sent with the ID. So guys, for that, we have to check out with our wire, okay, Livewire thing. So before that, let's create this input type of button. Paste here, and instead of a tag, let's use a button. Perfect. Yep, and now you can create a wire colon click is equal to delete student where curly bracket, and here you are going to send your student ID data. So let's send that. All done. And now let's copy this and go to our model component. Let us create a function with named delete student where we are getting the integer type ID, and that is nothing but your student ID. Okay, so student ID. Perfect. So now guys, you are going to send this ID $this of student ID is equal to your student ID. You will send in that, and then you are going to destroy the data. Okay, so before the let's get back to a model. So once you click on this yes delete, you are going to delete student. So we have already created a delete student function. Instead we will tell destroy student. So let's copy this function name and get back. So yep, and now you can create another function with destroy student. Let's remove this, and here our code comes for deleting the record. So let's create one variable called student is equal to where our model student colon find function you're finding, and then you're going to delete that record. As simple. So what data you're going to find? $this of student ID. So this student underscore ID is coming from the variable we have already declared. Okay, so when you select that student delete, it sends to that, and from this student ID we are calling that student ID and then deleting it. So once deleted, we have to what to do? We need to send the message and the dispatch code too. Let's copy this and paste here. We don't have any input. Let's remove that instead. And here is a closed model. Okay, student deleted successfully. Perfect. So now guys, when you close this model, it goes to your index blade. Okay, so here you copy and paste and get back to your model, copy your model ID and paste that. That's it. So once you done with that, you're going to close that model. Yep. So now guys, let's test it. Let's refresh. And now let's delete the fourth record, Alexa. Yes, sure, delete. And let's see what happens. Student deleted successfully, and that data has gone, guys. Perfect. So guys, we have done with our confirm and delete option in Laravel Livewire using Bootstrap Modal. Okay. So guys, how to make a search box? Okay. So as we search, that record should be filtered with the pagination. Okay. So if any record exists more than 10, it should be paginated also according to that filter. So guys, now let's get started. So yep, let's move back to our model. So component model here, and here we render it, right? So we render and we are showing the data in the for each loop. Yep. So now guys, let's get back to our model. At this page only, we are going to add a where condition. So to use how to use that, let me show you code over here. So inside your Laravel livewire.com, there is a pagination option. So inside that pagination, you can see reset pagination. Okay, so this one, let's go to that, and here you see the code. Let's copy this and get back. So let me add it at the top of the page. Okay, so here we add search option. By default it's null, and this search only will be using in our model now at the render function. Yep, let's get back, and here is a updating search. So we will be seeing what happens for this. So before that, let's set up this in our model. So you can copy this where condition, just copy that and get back here, and let's paste it. So after where order by, done guys. And now let's get back to our model, I mean blade file of Laravel Livewire, and at this button only I want to create an input field. So let's add the search, and let's give a wire model. Model is equal to, where you will tell search. So this search term will go in your model show. Okay, at the beginning. So in this search it will come, and that search we are filtering over here and searching the data. So on what thing we have to search, we will search with the name. Okay, so inside my student model I have created a column name, and that name only we are going to search. So now guys, let's save and let's check it once again. Yep, now let's see the output. Once refresh, here you get your input field. Okay, it's like too lengthy, so you can just add one. So let's make it to 230 pixel, or yeah, it's 230 is fine. And let me just add a float end. Let's give mx2. And oops, I have missed that guys, so please don't miss this over here, model wire model. Okay, or else the code will not work properly. Done guys. So this is a step one, and step two we have assigned the condition, and this step three with the search. Okay, which we have declared it. So these three things are very mandatory for this search option. Let's get back, refresh. Perfect. So we have got here. Let me add a placeholder so we can see something over there. Okay, let's add placeholder, search dot dot dot, save it, and now refresh. Looking cool. And now guys, let me search for the simply to record A. Here we find everything. Again A, no record found. Let me find OEM Om. So you find Om Prakash here. MO, you can find two records, one record. Let's find for the M only. So you find that M is over here and M is over here. Perfect. So let me make it empty. No record. And now if you directly clear this, here you get your output. So guys, we have successfully built with our search option in our Laravel Livewire CRUD application. So guys, if you want to know about this pagination, please watch out the part 2, which is fetch the data with the pagination. Okay, link given in the description. So guys, in this video, that's it. Thank you for watching this video guys. Please subscribe, like and share.